Well, Empire Magazine gave us some brand new information on Toy Story 5, and I think that this is going to make many people more excited for this film. And the main thing that I think what people get excited about is how Pixar is actually going to handle the whole technology aspect of Toy Story 5. So let's take a look at this first part of the article here and the new look that we got of Toy Story 5. Then we're going to talk about the second part of the article because I think that part is actually pretty interesting too. So again, this comes to us from Empire Magazine. A lot has happened since 1995 in the 30 years since the first Toy Story. The entire state of play has changed, and the toy landscape is a much more tech-heavy place. So when Toy Story 5 arrives in 2026, about 7 years after Toy Story 4, it has much to say about toys, technology, and what childhood means in the 2020s. And as director Andrew Stanton, a Pixar legend behind Finding Nemo and WALL-E, here makes his first Toy Story, tells Empire it's a nuanced conversation, simply trying to reflect where we are. Honestly, it's not really about a battle as much as the resilienation of an existential problem. It's that nobody's really playing with toys anymore. Stanton explains technology has changed everybody's lives, which is true, but we're asking what does that mean for us and to our kids? We can't just get away with making tech the villain, while the notion of screen time is embodied by the incoming Frog tablet, the villain Lilypad. The original toys are back too, not just Woody and Buzz, but an entire army of Buzzes. Together, they are known as the Multi-Buzz, set to cause chaos as they all come to realize the true nature of their plastic existence. And I think that plot sounds great. And I love that Pixar says that they're not going to completely try to make electronics completely bad in this movie. That makes me really happy. And I was scared that they were just going to go with a typical cliche plot of saying technology is bad, toys are good. No, they're more of just going to show like how are kids raised with tablets, if it's a good or bad thing. They're going to show both the good and bad, how to balance it, and how it kind of fits into this film today. And I really quite love that. And it's also something interesting too about the toys, because if you think about it, Woody, Jesse, Buzz, a lot of the toys we know and love are kind of outdated in this day of age. I mean, kids, not only do they not really play with toys anymore, but if you think about it, Woody is from the 1950s, so is Jesse, Bullseye. Buzz is also an older toy, and I think with this brand new look of the Buzz Lightyear army, which is from the opening scene of Toy Story 5, which was great, this look looks fantastic. But if you compare this new version of Buzz to our current Buzz, he has scratches all over his body, his stickers are starting to peel off, and he even has a little activity sheet sticker on his chest, showing that he's kind of weared and teared over the years, compared to these new Buzzes that are a lot more advanced and are unlike anything we've ever seen the character before, because they're more high advanced and high tech. So I think Buzz, our main Buzz, is going to kind of go through an existential crisis where he sees these more high-tech, more premium versions of Buzz, and he's just going to kind of be sad that he's not like that anymore, because in the first movie, he was a lot more premium, and I think that's actually how the army of Buzz Lightyears will fit into the film, mainly with Buzz Lightyear's character, because, well, I want Buzz to have more of a centric role in this fifth movie and to have a more meaningful story. Now, in terms of Woody, Jesse, Rex, well, Woody and Jesse, they're both 1950 toys, and these kind of toys nowadays, I don't think a kid would be interested in them at all. Rex and Potato Head are preschool toys, and I don't think an older kid will ever want to play with those kind of toys either. So I think in Toy Story 5, the toys are going to have to realize that not only are they not really that relevant towards kids nowadays, but they're also kind of outdated, which is really sad to see. And the fact they're saying that children don't play with toys anymore, the film is going to explore the fact that toys just aren't that relevant, is such a brilliant, relevant, and kind of a sad concept, and I love what they're doing here. Andrew Stanton does bring up why he even continued the franchise after Toy Story 3, or why Pixar even was making more sequels. While the original Toy Story trilogy came to a hugely acclaimed conclusion in 2010's Toy Story 3, the evolving nature of childhood means there's more to explore with these characters as the years go on. So while 3 was the end of Andy's years, says Stanton, nobody's being robbed of their trilogy. They can have that, and never watch another one if they don't want to. But I always love how this world allows us to embrace time and change. There's no promise that it stays in amber. Time to get Woody and Buzz back out of the box. That is something I love too, because while I understand people saying stuff like it should have ended after Toy Story 3, a part of me is like, I'm grateful for what we got with like Toy Story 4 and 5. And Pixar always manages to find a way to make great stories and to find a reason for these films to even exist and for a reason for another Toy Story film to come out. They know these films mean a lot to people, so it means all in the world to make these stories as great as possible. Like Toy Story 5's technology aspect is perfect for this day of age, and I think that it'll be a great story and show why there's more to tell after Toy Story 3 and 4. And I also like that Pixar is kind of aware of this, because this has been like the biggest complaint from Toy Story, that it just should have ended after the third movie. But I'm glad that more people at Pixar are starting to realize, like, I understand about that. If you just want the trilogy, good, you can watch that. You don't have to watch anything else. But just allow us to continue this world, continue these characters, and continue making great stories, which is why I've always thought a Toy Story 4 and 5, now I think that they are great ideas, and I think they can do great things with them. And he also says in this part, this is the end of the Andy years, which pretty much proves that Andy will probably never come back. And that also means that now Toy Story 4, 5, and probably a Toy Story 6 are now the Bonnie years. Maybe in Toy Story 6, the characters leave Bonnie, or something happens where they kind of move on from her. And him saying Andy years, yeah, that makes it pretty clear that they are finished with his story and they're going to move right along with Bonnie's story, which I am really happy about, because I would not like it if Andy just came back all of a sudden. I know people want it, but for me, I just think it would ruin the ending of Toy Story 3, and it would kind of ruin the stuff that you are doing with Toy Story 4 and 5. So I'm great that they did address this too. But either way, that is a lot of news for Toy Story 5 that we got here. Either way, this sounds very exciting and gets me more excited for what they're going to exactly do here.